Check this out. I know you have always dreamed of performing in Carnegie Hall. So I think this 2023 to 2024 season at Sound Espressivo will be perfect for you. As a platform, we host live online auditions so you can share your music with the entire world. Then we send you to incredible in-person venues like Carnegie Hall so you can perform solo, as a duo, as an ensemble, and with orchestra. This year we have a total of 4 gala events at Carnegie Hall, as well as 4 different opportunities to perform with orchestras in the US, in the Czech Republic, and even in Egypt. We want to help you fulfill your musical dreams. Go to soundespressivocompetition.com to check out our season and to apply.
Welcome to Virtual Concert Hall's live programs. Thank you for joining us today. Our channel is dedicated to bringing live performances and events from international artists delivered to audiences from around the globe. I am James Welch, and I will be your host this morning. It is a bright, somewhat gloomy and rainy morning here in Washington, D.C., where I am today. But it's all that's going to change when we hear this wonderful music. We are presenting the Gala Auditions here today for Carnegie Hall. Musicians are auditioning for an opportunity to perform at the Weill Recital Hall at Carnegie Hall in gala concerts in New York City. Auditionees from many countries are seeking guidance and support from the judges through live comments, which you will hear after each performance today. The Gala Auditions are organized by Sound Espressivo, Progressive Musicians, and Virtual Concert Halls. Virtual Concert Halls is an internet TV broadcaster with providing artists with a virtual stage and abilities to reach audiences beyond the walls of conventional concert halls. Progressive Musicians is an organizer of many competitions and concerts at prestigious venues like Carnegie Hall. The Sound Espressivo Global Competition is an online, live-streamed competition. It combines a competition and live performance experience. And this is how we started.
No matter where you are or who you are, music connects us all. We started with a dream, but now we are paving the future. Welcome to the Sound Espressivo Global Competition. Fully virtual, yet bringing musicians closer together than ever before, now on a global scale. True live, inclusivity, diversity, connection, community, an extraordinary array of judges. Get noticed by companies all over the world. Prizes, scholarships, performance opportunities. Apply to be a part of the most exciting congregation of artists like nothing you've ever seen before. We guarantee quality and leave no musician behind. We can't wait to hear you on the virtual stage.
We are very grateful to our partners, and we have an overwhelming amount of support here, as you can see. There's so many organizations and individuals that they don't fit on one screen very easily anymore. And, it takes a whole village and, support with different prizes, different resources, you name it. We can't be more grateful for all of our supporters' help. Thank you, supporters. We are also expanding our reach. We stream on all the channels, all the major social media channels there. And you can leave a comment if you're watching on one of those channels, and one of our tech wizards can put the comments on the screen. We can respond at appropriate moments, and so we hope that you'll participate that way. The goal of these auditions is to encourage, nurture, and reward musicians who are proactive about sharing their art and developing their careers. Sound Espressivo and Progressive Musicians together are providing opportunities for musicians to discover their unique artistic voice, take initiative, present themselves on their own terms, and carve out their own career paths.
Perform on our galas at Carnegie Hall. Our new season of auditions for classical musicians is now available. Performance opportunities for students, young professionals, and seasoned artists. Perform as a soloist or chamber ensemble at Carnegie Hall. Perform a concerto with the New York Chamber Players at Carnegie Hall. Composers submit their works to be premiered at Carnegie Hall. New this season, Laureate ensembles at Carnegie Hall. Audition to be part of a 3-day intensive workshop directed by some of the world's master musicians, culminating with a performance at Carnegie Hall. Audition live from the comfort of your own home. Get live evaluations from expert judges and expand your online presence through our international internet broadcasts. Additional award and performance opportunities are also available. Visit our website for full details. Don't miss out on these wonderful opportunities to advance as a musician and perform on a world-renowned stage. We look forward to hearing your performances.
So one of the things I love as a professional musician and teacher myself is that we are never finished with the process of developing as a musician. There's always something new and exciting that we can achieve or accomplish or just enjoy, even if we're playing the same pieces over again in a different venue. And that's why we have no restrictions to how many auditions people can take with us. We have many recitals coming up at Carnegie Hall, and we've had many repeat auditionees and repeat performers in many of our events, not just Carnegie Hall, but our Cold Orchestra and the Sound Espressivo. And we've gotten to know so many people so well. And one of the things that is just so great about that is we get to see the progress and development of all those performers. And each time somebody comes back, they've always made significant strides and improvement. So we are here to help encourage and support your development as a musician and every aspiration. In addition to the opportunity of performing at Carnegie Hall, everyone auditioning this season is eligible for these fabulous season awards sponsored by our partners. And we have special awards from everywhere. We have the Cicciarone Music and Arts Awards. We have the Price Awards. And we have awards for summer programs. And we have season awards, through Carnegie, through virtual concert halls, and the James Adler Audience Favorite Award, and so many. Oh yeah, summer music programs, and oh wow, they're going by so fast here. Recognition awards from iClassical, and of course the Carnegie Hall. You can play there with us, and many. Oh, a Bach Fest as well. Wow, we have a lot here. Colborne School has their series of awards and Brilliant Talent Discovery Awards, and so many great things here. I just can't list them so fast when they come like that, but I mean, it's just overwhelming, and that's all due to the many supporters that we have here. So you're not going to be missing out here. There's a lot for everybody here. When selected to perform at Carnegie Hall, musicians get the celebrity treatment from the organizers, the orchestra, the conductor, and the production team. And here is what you get here. So you could play with orchestra if you're auditioning for concerto. We have the New York Chamber Players and Orchestra Manhattan this coming season. And you will get the full package of certificates and medals, a video of your performance here. And now I'm getting ahead of the video because I'm excited and I'm revved up here. But, there's the poster. You get an interview with Steve Robinson, and that press interview gets played on our daily show and your own little mini spotlight series that you could share everywhere. We have the performance package. There we go, with the medal and the certificate. The certificate comes with your picture on it and the whole date commemorating the event. And it's just wonderful there. You see our performance package. Okay, so one other cool thing. If you are in New York on April 1st or April 4th, we're going to be in Weill Recital Hall. You could get your tickets at the Carnegie Hall website. And the April 1st program will be featuring the Boston String Academy, an ensemble of 20 or more, 22 students, I think, all strings playing, and they're just going to be fabulous. We have our Laureate soloists that were auditioned, and then we have a surprise guest. Well, not a surprise anymore, but the Leonard Quartet from Washington, D.C. will be performing many new compositions for string quartet, and we actually have quite a few new compositions on there. I think there's a flute and harp and a few piano compositions, and it's going to be a really great program. Then on April 4th, we have the Bo Lightly's Ensemble, also from Washington, D.C., and they're an ensemble of all cellos directed by Maestro John Kaboff. And after they grace the stage with us, then we welcome the New York Chamber Players under the baton of Giacomo Maestro Franci, and he has many guest conductors and soloists that'll be playing with the orchestra, as well as many of our auditioned laureates who will be featured in concerti, as well as some new works for orchestra. It's just a mix of everything. It's going to be wonderful, and if you're in New York on April 1st or April 4th or both, come check us out. Both concerts are at 7 p.m. and you could get the tickets at the Carnegie Hall website or at the box office in person. I'll give you a tip, though. I've seen that Carnegie Hall ticket line around the entire block of 7th Avenue and 56th right before a concert. So come early or get your tickets online early. Otherwise, you'll be standing in that line. You're going to miss the beginning. So little New York advice there, but it's kind of cool to see that line backed up. Just probably not very cool to be in that line. Okay, so let's take a look at what's happening here. So, we did the overview here, and I think it's time to bring in the judges and get going with some of these auditions here. We have our first judge here, new to our judges team, Diego Gabriel Imperiale, born in Buenos Aires, Argentina, singer, actor, voice coach, and musician. Since he was young, around 2005, he began writing songs and performing on stages in Argentina. In 2010, he founded his band Absurda Attrazione, I believe that's how you say it. And in addition to playing in several legendary places in the city, he began to appear on the musical theater scene as a vocal coach, composer, and assistant director. He was an actor. He was as an actor, he was a face of Coca-Cola for the celebration of 125 years as a lead role for Spain and several places in Europe. And he is selected by Oscar winner Armando Bo for his role. He is also known in the movie Christmas in Miami on Amazon Prime, and he's just done so many great things. I mean, we could go on for a week as to how many wonderful things he's done, and he's here for the very first time with us today. Diego, welcome. How you doing?
Hey, how's it going, James? Nice to be here.
It's great to have you here, and wow, what a career you've had here, and we're so lucky to have you here sharing your wisdom and expertise with everybody today. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. Very excited. Yeah.
Sure thing. Okay, and then also today we have the director of the New York Chamber Players, Maestro Giacomo Franci. He is the artistic director and the founder of the organization, founded in 2004. For the 2010 and 11 season, Maestro Franci was elected guest maestro of Escuela de Dirección de Orquestra in Cordoba, Spain. Maestro Franci is world-renowned as the leading interpreter of music of Aaron Copland. He earned his highly coveted position based on the merits of his acclaimed world premiere recording, the completed edited piano works by Aaron Copland, a triple CD released on Phone Classics Maestro. Maestro Franci performed at Alice Tully Hall, Lincoln Center, for the centennial of Copland's birthday in February 2000, receiving rave reviews for his performance. And he's done so much, and he also has a bio that we could go on for months, but he's been wonderful. He has done 3 galas with us now at Carnegie Hall, and the orchestra has just given so much great music and support under his expertise and direction. And Giacomo, we have you here again today. You're a veteran to this program, but we welcome you back. It's great to see you here today. How are you?
Great to be here. Thank you. Always great.
Wonderful. How's the weather in New York?
It's pretty gloomy. It's raining. Not very good, but we will bring the energy here. So
we will. We definitely will, because we have a lot of fun on these broadcasts. These are not just auditions. We sometimes have discussions that sometimes turns into a mini talk show. You never know what's going to happen. But that all happens by the way that the music that we hear inspiring us to bring out our creative, passionate sides. So
yeah.
So who knows
like
what's going to happen
a gloomy week
next.
everywhere, right? It's been a gloomy week everywhere because I'm in South Florida, which is always warm and sunny, and it's not sunny today.
It's just a gloomy day, but we're going to brighten that up here. And on that note here, why don't we begin with some of the performers? Some will be live and some will be via video. All comments will be live, and we'll have a chance for questions and discussions. It's going to be great here. So our first musician today is Yunhyang Cho, and she'll be performing the third movement of Beethoven's Third Piano Concerto. And Yunhyang, we welcome you to the stage. Okay, it appears that we're having some technical difficulties, but we will get back to Yunhyang Cho in a little bit, and we will bring in Ling Ho playing the Bach Double Concerto in D minor, first movement. Ling, welcome to the virtual stage. Well, bravo. Okay, thank you for bringing that to our stage. It was lovely to hear you. And we have our judges here. And who would like to go first? Maybe we'll start with the veteran. Giacomo, you could go first.
Eiling, yes, that's not an easy piece. It sounds easy, but it's not easy. Anyway, congratulations for your performance. Some comments about technical aspect of your violin playing. I'm thinking the quality of sound. So Bach is very clear, and most of your playing has been clear. But I think the more, if you find more relaxation in your bow, your sound will come more round and more beautiful. Then from there, I think also the intonation problem in the especially in the high part of the sound will come easier to address. So I think that the first step is quality of sound, and then but you are very young, so you can fix this. You have all the time to fix these little problems that can create the base of your playing, and from there you can blossom more. Bravo. Okay.
Wonderful. And Diego.
Right. So Ling Ho, wonderful. Thanks for bringing the beautiful music to our stage. First of all, what I wanted to say is that it's very important to let this music go through you, and we have to be able to see that in your face and your body and everything. So it's very important in these type of auditions to put the camera in the correct place. We can actually see your face a little bit better maybe next time. So you can not only play the music, but also be able to show us the music in general, right? Like we have to be able to see you also. So apart from some improvisations, we all make mistakes sometimes, but it's very important to make it as a whole. The performance has to be a whole, and it's very important to also feel what we're doing and feel what we're playing, and be able to transcend and to transmit that through the camera and through the audience. And it's very important because we're all going to make mistakes because we're human, but it's very important for us to be able to also show what we have inside, which is our art in general, which is not only just the music or not only the musician, but also the whole thing as an artist and as someone that's feeling what we're playing. So in that position, you look very, very, very good, and you could look better if you just thought about like, okay, if there's a mistake, if there's some mistake, it doesn't really matter, but it has to show, and we have to see that you're actually enjoying and feeling it. So it's very, very important, and keep going. Yeah, you have a great wonderful playing, and can become better, and you have to keep working on it. Great.
Wonderful. Yes. Well, it's always lovely to hear Bach, and even though we weren't planning to start with that, that's a great way to start the program as well. But yeah, I'm not a judge here, but I'll just insert my few cents. But yeah, it's always good to see the full person as the presentation, and playing with confidence, and seeing your face and seeing your hands in the right place. For violin, I know it's tough. You're like this or whatever. But positioning of the camera is important, and just like overall presentation. But it's lovely for you to put yourself up there on the stage, and we look forward to hearing all of your developments as you move forward in your training. And we thank you for being here today. Okay, I think we're going to try to bring Yunhyang back in here with the Beethoven's third piano concerto, third movement. So let's do another welcome to the virtual stage here. Oh, bravo. It was great to hear you. Thank you for bringing that to our virtual stage. And so and we can see that you sent a TikTok video. It's great to know that videos like that are on TikTok, because usually we just see these like 2-minute clips that are like wee 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 wee, and then something funny and something all that. But we rarely see somebody playing classical music on TikTok, and that's very refreshing to see. So it means that there's so much more out there that to be discovered, and that's like the greatest part of the internet, is you can find just about anything that you're looking for, or even if you're not looking for it. So but thank you for sharing that with us here on our broadcast today. Gonna bring in the judges here, and maybe Diego, you want to start first with this one?
All right. Hey, Union. All right. Yeah, that's the TikTok thing. I mean, for us to be able to see that on TikTok is wonderful. It's way better than all the other videos that we usually see. So it's wonderful to see that classical music being played on TikTok. Amazing, amazing. I loved it. Since it's not gloomy anymore, I was gonna say it sounds fantastic. One thing I would like to say, and it's something similar to what I was talking about when I saw Ling Ho. What is this music to you? What do you feel when you play it? Show us what you feel. If it goes through different parts of emotions, different stages of emotions throughout the piece, the basses, the trebles, the different parts of the piece. Let it show. Let it show. We could see you better too. Sometimes if the camera is here and your hair is here, we can't really see you that much. So if you try to see where the piece takes you as you're playing, you'll be able to show us more of what you're feeling and what this music really feels like, what it feels to you and what it can feel to us, depending on what we see and how we hear it and how we see you as well. As far as it sounds amazing. I loved the sound of the piano and everything. So great. Thank you for bringing this to us. Wonderful.
Thank you, Diego. Giacomo.
Yes. Yes. Congratulations, Union. That's not an easy piece to play, and so I congratulate you for that. You are at a good technical level that allows you to do more what Diego was talking about, like bringing more artistry to your playing. That can be something parallel to the technical level that you like to improve. Since Diego talked about more the artistic aspect, I would talk about the technical one. I think that, so first of all, I think that movement is probably at least a bit faster. There is more, from my point of view, more life to it. Of course, then if you play a little faster, it's also more difficult to play. Going faster doesn't mean athletics. It means things musically faster, and so there is one. I would, if I would be you, I would keep on practicing it a bit slower and find more clarity and more variety also of dynamics that will link more to the artistic aspect. So as James was saying before, the aim of each one of us is to grow artistically, grow technically, grow every day. I don't think this is even a job. This is a mission. It's something. It's something that it's like you are part of a something above it being, in 9 to 5 job. It's completely different. You are completely absorbed to what you do, and if you are very committed, you can get great results. Brava.
Thank you, Giacomo. Yes, and thank you, Yin for bringing this to the stage. Yeah, I again, I'll preface, I'm not a judge, but I will offer my 2 cents that is not equated into the judging. But yeah, the presentation, yeah, it's one thing that we all struggle with sometimes. But I always, when I was studying piano, and we had a teacher once who would always ask people with long hair to just tie it back a little bit so that we could see the side of the face, so it didn't look like you were hiding, and I'm sure that wasn't your intent. It's just one of those things where we learn as we go and we make progress, and that way we could see your full self presentation, because we can't do face on as you're doing the pianist, or else we can't see your hands going. But yep, and just every little bit to make more progress and keep making new strides. And we look forward to hearing all of your developments in the future. So thank you for bringing that to us today. All right, we are going to be moving ahead here, and we have our first full live performance here with Bruce Lero Jr., and he'll be doing some Sibelius, the Julian song, and the Spruce. So, Bruce, welcome back to the virtual stage here. We look forward to hearing you.
Okay. I just had to let them know.
Yeah, there you go.
Bravo. Bravo. And so the first song there was by Kurt Cacioppo. Is that how you say it, Bruce?
That's correct.
Oh, okay. Cacioppo. Yeah, I totally missed that on the lineup there, and so I only mentioned the Julian song, but or the Spruce, but it's the Kurt Capaccio's Julian song that we heard, correct?
Correct. It was Apparition and Julian song by Kurt, who's a Italian-American composer and was my mentor in college.
Wonderful. It's such a beautiful piece, and it was great to hear it. We're going to turn it over to the judges here. Let's start with Giacomo this time.
Oh, nice. Your music was reflecting the rainy day here in New York, so I was feeling like quite connected to. I'm not, especially the first piece that you play. I'm not very familiar with that. Is he a contemporary composer?
Contemporary composer. He was my thesis advisor at Haverford, and I've performed and recorded a bunch of his pieces. That was written in 1988, and it's from a Ciclo Metamorfico, Sur de Nome Maestro. It's from a cycle that was on his CD Italia, which was released maybe 10 or 15 years ago.
Yeah. Of course, I'm much more familiar with Sibelius. I'm especially very familiar with his orchestra piece. I've been conducting the violin concerto and other pieces by Sibelius. And yes, so this is a modern music, modern contemporary. Also, the first piece, it feels on that kind of wavelength. And your playing was, I really liked it. You bring the expression of the music. Also, the quality of sound is very good.
Thank you.
Despite you have a baby grand piano there, right?
Yes,
so
correct.
You don't even have a full piano, but your sound was very good. Well, the only thing I would suggest you is that you maybe for other audition in general, you might, beside the expressive aspect, choose pieces that where there is a more virtuosism, like virtuosic aspect. You can show your full array of talent. But for the performance today, it was pretty nice. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Giacomo. And we'll move on to Diego.
Hey, Bruce, how's it going? Thank you for
Good
bringing
to meet you, Diego.
Thank you for bringing this to us. It's wonderful. And I was thinking the same thing as the baby grand piano. Sounds great, and the strumming sounds pretty good. You're getting like a lot out of it, and that's fantastic. And I think it's the good choice of doing these two separate pieces that bring about different types of performances, and that was very good. The combination, I liked the way you showed them. That was very nice. Also, you could maybe you can place the camera a little closer, and we can also see you better, or maybe this side and this. That we can see you a little bit better. Sometimes I always try to look at the cameras and because how you present yourself in an audition, how you show yourself is very, very important. But great work, and very nice. Thank you so much. Great playing.
Thank you, Diego.
Thank you. Hey, Bruce, did you have anything you wanted to say or ask the judges? The floor is yours if you want it.
Sure. No, I just I appreciate it, and sorry about the confusion with the Sibelius. I've played that for a couple other progressive.
Yeah, hours. I remember. Yeah, it was great to hear it again, and
that's why I wanted to show something different. I figured a lot of the repertory would be standard, so I figured it could be a good juxtaposition to perform some contemporary Italian-American music.
Indeed. Yeah. Did you have anything you wanted to ask the judges? You don't have to, but they're here if you do.
Sure. Yeah, if I think of something, I'll put it in the chat.
Wonderful. No pressure at all. Sometimes there's just questions and we end up in great conversations. So it's just one of the fun things we do here. But for now, we will move on. It was great to hear you again, Bruce. Thank you for being here. Okay, and our next performer is a veteran to our stage as well and our auditions. Sophie Dooner. She'll be singing Charles Mingus Eclipse. And Sophie, we welcome you back to our virtual stage. Wow, that was really neat. And Sophie, you have some of the neatest repertoire that you present to us. It's great to hear you again. Can you tell us a little bit about that piece? How it came about, and
I will. I created a duo with an old colleague from Boston who plays drums. And we performed Weird Nightmare, which is another piece by Charles Mingus. And then we decided, well, let's do one more. And we did Eclipse. And then we decided to make a whole new CD. And this is a part of the new CD that's going to be released in the summertime. And I was using a playback. So yes, there's a slight little ghosty sounds of some vocals back there, but that was kind of inevitable if I was going to use this as a playback. But second half is only me.
Oh, wonderful! So this was really a preview of things to come.
Yes, it's going to be released. We have Duke Ellington's Sound of Love. We have Goodbye Pork Pie Hat. So we're having a CD release concert in the States in the summer sometime.
Oh, wow. So
but it's like it's called Modern Mingus, and it's supposed to be a modern arrangement, but it's only percussion and me.
Wow.
So we're pretty naked.
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, it's some great sounds and music to look forward to. And there is no date on that release yet, is there? Or nothing you can
There has been one for a long time now, but it's like we're perfecting and mastering it and adding stuff. So
you can't rush great art sometimes.
It will be in maybe June. I'm not completely sure yet, but May, June, yeah.
And you'll be in Boston for this release party?
Well, and New York. We plan to play in both places. Yes.
Wonderful. And so, it'll obviously be a concert of all the music on this album, right? And maybe a few other fun selections. Wow. Well, you'll have to keep us updated on that information so that we can broadcast it here, and we look forward to that. Thank you. And we should probably turn this over to the judges. And Diego, how about you first?
All right. Yeah, of course. Hi, how's it going, Sophie?
Hi, how are you?
This is
nice to meet you.
Good. Nice to meet you too. This is interesting artistry. I liked it. Very, very interesting. If I want to say something about the technical aspect of it, for the beltings, I would say try to decide which type of sound you want to get out of the belts. Sometimes belt requires a higher effort number in the body and the voice. So what happens is like you have to be able to balance. If you open your mouth that much, what happens to the tongue? Does it go too low? It goes too low and the effort is too high on the vocal folds. Sometimes it feels like it goes out of balance. You know what I'm talking about? Like if you could be able to find a better type of live compression, I would say. Because when one's in the studio, then you go to the studio and then you compress all that notes and everything sounds great. When you're live, you want to be able to get like a natural compression out of you. And that would be balancing how much you open your mouth, because the tongue, does it go too low in certain vowels if you open the mouth too much? That is one thing to look at that you can work on, and it will help you get those belts more balanced instead of sometimes they go a little bit out of like the spectrum.
Yes, I got it. Yes, I see.
But a very interesting sound. That's great. I like the artistry of the song and everything. So if you can be able to balance that, it will be amazing. And another thing you can try to think of is the onsets. When you start like every time you start with Eclipse, right? Like what are you doing with those onsets? If the performance will require you to do something louder, stronger, you got to be able to keep onsets also like controlled. So one thing is like the performance could be like the biggest yell and it could be crazy, but then the glottal onset of the phrase, like when you go those beginnings, it could be like different tones, like every time you start a phrase with a glottal onset, try to check what you're doing with that so it doesn't sound also like like the onset, only the that could be controlled even if you're doing something very loud.
Yes.
And those are two things to look at that will help you a lot. That's wonderful. And placement of the camera. I'm also today I'm the I'm the judge that's talking about the camera all the time. Be careful with like little things showing like behind you.
Oh.
Right, when you place a camera, yeah. If you like, for instance,
Yes.
if you have the you know, the curtain, it must be all the only the curtain, and because if we can see like a little part, you know, another room or something, we can get.
Oh,
distracted.
okay. Yes, I was trying to keep it all white, but maybe there was a speaker there in the back. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'll
No,
make
it's
sure.
okay. It's perfect. All right. Thank you so much. Wonderful.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
think
Thank you.
one thing to point out, thank you, Diego. One thing to point out is that there are no professional filming crews or audio crews on everybody's end. They set it up with their own tech and whatever they have, their computers, their microphones and cameras, and then we have some tech wizards that help get the best out of that by remote. But you know, it's always going to be something different here, which makes it magical in itself with these performances, because all of our performers don't just perform. They're their own tech crew. I mean, unless they're fortunate to have someone with them. And so it's quite amazing, because, I mean, how many auditions do we go to in person where when we get in there and they say, all right, now go turn on the camera and turn on the mic. And
Right, it's hard,
you know,
right?
we're the only ones that do that, which is kind of neat. But, I mean, it's part of the new age of virtual auditions and saving a lot
That's
of
why I
money
wanted
on
to point it
travels.
out. That's why I'm trying to point it out. So you know,
Yeah.
with the
Exactly.
the so we can do as much as we can with being around tech, because now it's like this new era where there you know, people expect like you to be able to do a lot of stuff. Like for artists, we have to do everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I forget who it was I was working with that said at some point you play all the parts. And it's true. You know, I feel like I have too. But we need to move on to Giacomo. Giacomo.
Hi, Sophie. Where are you? In Boston
Ciao.
now, or
No,
you are
I
in?
am back in Sweden. I am in Gothenburg.
Ah, you are in Sweden. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we know each other very well. So I don't have much criticism. I admire your creativity, and it's a breath of fresh air for the usual program that we do here with classical music. So last time you performed your own piece. This time is a Charles Mingus. So I would say it's completely jazz. So are you actually singing what he wrote, or there is any improvisation in what you did?
Well, I mean, I am interpreting his melody. You know, it's this is his piece, but I'm making my own interpretation. Like when you sing a standard, it's like a kind of an unknown standard, Eclipse.
Right. So
yeah.
So there is no part like in jazz when you sing the standard, then you
Yes, there is.
improvise.
Yes,
There is an improvisation.
This is the melody. This is the melody, but I'm not I'm not making a solo, but I am singing the melody. But
Right.
I'm stretching it, and I'm you know.
You're interpreting.
I'm interpreting it, but there is
Yeah.
a piece. This is the piece by him.
So have you ever considered doing it in the jazz way, like after you do the standard, the written part, you improvise also?
To scat on top of it, to
Right.
improvise.
Right.
Yeah, to take a solo. Oh, sure. I mean, it's just that there was a 5-minute limit for the
Okay, yeah.
for the performance. So I told Bertram to cut it down. It's
Yeah.
already shorter because the piece we do on the CD is 10 minutes long. But
Yeah.
I mean, here it's I could of course I could put in a solo in the middle of this 5 minutes. Definitely,
Right.
I'd love to. But I just did it this way. But,
because as a jazz musician, your best is coming out there when
Yes.
you actually improvise, and so
yeah. Oh no.
you just
I would
you just
I
go
would
the way,
definitely
yeah.
do that. I would
Yeah.
definitely do that on top of it, but it would only be percussion. you know, and then I would scat on top, and that would be lovely, of course.
I admire her work, and I hope we'll work together in the future. Yes.
Yes, I hope so.
Brava, bravissima.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Okay.
Giacomo.
Bye, everyone.
Sophie, did you have anything you wanted to ask the judges? You don't have to, but we can give you a minute if you want.
If I hadn't, no, they were interesting comments. I appreciated that, and I know the thing with my loudness is like what you said, Diego. You were commenting on that was an interesting comments, because I know I kind of go nuts with the loudness and the belting sometimes, and it becomes like a wild animal. So I know that some people take a machine and they just want to get rid of it. And I said, don't put a compressor because that's killing me. But I have to control it.
Oh, always something to do. And, I think that's, I mean, what you're saying, like having shorter versions and, for different contexts and all that. I mean, that's why composers and performers, they all come up with first, second, and third editions. And there's even all those old, I think there's like some of these original Scriabin piano etudes that were like not really well known, but they were the originals that were discovered a while ago, and someone recorded them and played them. And it's it's oddly different than what we're normally used to hearing. And I think there's some Chopin waltzes as well. But we keep discovering these little things here. And so what we heard today from Sophie wasn't the original, but maybe we'll hear the original. We'll definitely hear the original later, and maybe we'll hear this version later or another version. And I think that's another reason even bands that play just out in shows and nightclubs and all that sometimes just do acoustic version or something. We just have so much flexibility with our art, and it's great to see what everybody can do with their own pieces and even other people's existing works. And we thank you for bringing that to us today, Sophie. It was lovely to hear you.
It was lovely to be here. Thank you so much.
We look forward to hearing you again soon.
I hope so.
So,
okay.
Moving on, so we're talking a lot about presentation today, and if you don't mind, I'd like to bring Diego back for a second. I hope you don't mind. Talk about presentation for just a minute. Now,
of course.
You've done a lot of voice acting, including for Coca-Cola, and I mean that had to be a big deal.
That was acting, not voice acting, but acting on camera.
Acting on camera, yeah, and yeah. I mean, what might you be able to share with us about something like that, or the Coca-Cola experience? It's just so intriguing. I had to ask.
Yeah, that was amazing.
In terms of presentation and all that, we never get to talk about anything like this on this show.
Yeah. Well, that experience is amazing. Yeah, we started at was it 6 a.m. and ended at 2 a.m. in the morning the next day. So one thing I could share about commercials and filming is that you're gonna be there for pretty much a whole day and more sometimes. And that was directed by Academy Award winner Armando Bo. He wrote the script for Birdman. He won the Oscar for that, for the script. And it was very interesting working with him because he was such a dedicated guy. And all these guys, you see them and they're obsessed with the frames and the things, and we would do 20 shots because one had this microphone here and the other one would be, okay, let's put this here and I'll put it there. so you learn a lot of stuff from that. And as we were saying, we were talking about this era where we need to be everything, and we need to do videos and send stuff, and we have to, unfortunately, for some artists, because it's not that we really enjoy it, but we do have to get technical with the frames and the lights and a lot of stuff that maybe we don't know, but we have to. That's why I was looking at some trying to give everybody some points about how to show themselves, because it's very important. Sometimes the way you show yourself is going to make a huge difference, because we're actually be able to see you and to see what you're doing, and to see it through your eyes, and see mm-hmm. what you're feeling when you perform. Mm-hmm. That's very important.
Yeah, so it's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. I didn't tell Diego that I was going to quiz him today, but I just thought there's so much presentation, and I mean, the singers are always in the spotlight a little bit more as actors and presenters. Not that other musicians are not, but it's just a little bit more personal when you have to act the part and really show your face a lot more. And I think that that was just wonderful advice and information that you had to share. So,
and I also believe that, in the classical world as well, I think people don't have to forget that opera singers are actors, and they're on stage and they are acting, and it's very, very important not to forget that we have to take the stage. It's not just the voice. The voice is a lot of work, but then you have to really, really bring your performance and show what the character is feeling. It's very important. That's the whole thing of the role.
Indeed. Giacomo, did you want to contribute to this?
Yeah, I actually, it's very, very interesting because especially in classical music, we go in the stage and we are pretty occupied with play all the right notes, like doing a so-called perfect performance, which doesn't exist because
doesn't.
Perfection doesn't exist in music. But we have that kind of mentality, and then go ask I don't know, my wife or some friends, to say, "Oh, your pants were not." I was not thinking about the pants, and they were looking at the pants that they were not really at the shape that I was thinking. I say, "Oh, this is so stupid." I was thinking about the great sorry. I was thinking about, I don't want to offend anybody. I was thinking about, how beautiful Bach is in all the phrasing and so forth and so on. And these people that are thinking about my pants.
It's like living that nightmare where you have a nightmare where like parts of your clothes are missing and you're on stage screwing up or something, and and you were actually wearing pants. There was something wrong with them in this case.
Yeah,
I mean, that's quite funny.
That's what I try to talk to.
You lived half of that nightmare that we've all had as professional performers.
I think it's apropos because, as you think about the camera or what you place or the light or all the visual aspect of your performance, it brings up what Diego is talking about. And,
indeed.
That's why exactly. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, that's exactly why I want to talk to artists about this when I see them, because sometimes they're not thinking about the pants, but people are, and sometimes people won't get the whole. Us as musicians, we will see and hear more things, of course, than the general audience. They won't be able to hear every aspect of it like we do. So then we go and perform. If we go and perform thinking that the only thing they're gonna be seeing is like the music and that note or that thing that which is perfect to work on it and getting, we try to get it as perfectly as possible, but they're not going to be seeing all that. They're going to be seeing the whole picture. So if we let the other stuff, if we let your guard down in the other aspects, then the whole performance gets diluted.
Sometimes the people hear what they see.
Right, exactly. So it's a whole thing.
Indeed. Well, this was a great discussion. I'm glad we could take a few minutes out of the auditions to have this, and thank you both, gentlemen, for that. I want to make one announcement. In the idea of presentation, in addition to the Carnegie Hall presentations, we also have our Cool Orchestra operations and performances. And yes, with the Western New York Chamber Orchestra, this is before we go to New York. This is on Thursday in 5 days at the State University of New York at Fredonia with the Western New York Chamber Orchestra under Maestro Glenn Cortese. And we have 7 concerto soloists playing on this, and they're from all over the world. And we're going to have some Mozart, some Vivaldi, Saint-Saëns, Shostakovich, Mozart, and more Mozart, Beethoven, and Vaughan Williams, and it's just going to be a great concert, and it'll be streamed here on our channel too. But if you are in the Western New York area, Buffalo, or even Erie, Pennsylvania, it's a quick drive down to Fredonia, and you could get the tickets for the concert at fredonia.edu/tickets. And it's really going to be a fun time. So we hope you can at least tune in or join us in person and meet the artists after. And then we will pack up from that. We will have a small visit from the Easter Bunny, and we will be in New York at Carnegie Hall. And so now these auditions, we are mainly auditioning for the concerts at Carnegie Hall next season, the 24-25 season. So we've been listening to some great music so far. We've had some great discussions with our judges and our auditioning musicians. So we have one more musician left, and that is Caden Griggs. And he is here live with us today, and he'll be playing the first movement of Saint-Saëns' second piano concerto. So, Caden, welcome to the virtual stage.
Yeah, it's good
Bravo, bravo. What a great way to end this session with such a dynamic, powerful performance. That's wonderful. Yeah, bravo. Yeah, we have one judge who is just joining us now that I'd like to introduce really quick, Dickran Atamian. And his career evolved from a highly excitable young artist into the maturity of a statesman of the instrument, where a prodigious technical prowess was fused with rare musical acumen to deliver electrifying performances and landmark recordings. In 1975, he won first prize at the 50th anniversary Naumburg competitions at age 19 at Carnegie Hall, and it was the youngest person to win that at that time, I believe. And now he's emerged as in the role he is known under the trade name of Jack Price, where he's an artist manager who has founded Price Attractions. A concert management headquartered in Tulsa, Oklahoma, with affiliates in several cities. Atamian lives there, where he is actively engaged with careers of artists he now represents, and lives with his two children, Sean and Anna Rose. And he's just done so many wonderful things. He's been all over the place. Again, he's another guy that we'd be here for months telling you about all of his wonderful accomplishments, and we're so we're so blessed to have him here today, sharing his wisdom and expertise. And Dickran, welcome to the auditions and the show here. It's great to have you here. And
who wrote that?
I don't know. It's probably some weirdo.
Has some wacko, right?
Some wacko. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's great to have you here, and you're judging. And why don't we start with you?
Oh, really? Why don't we? Okay.
Yeah. Why not?
Well, that was a real. I admire that performance. How old is this boy? Caden, how old are you?
12 now.
12 now. How about tomorrow or yesterday? Yeah, that's good. Well, I mean, it's quite an accomplishment at 12. I got to say, I consider this concerto the hardest, and you might laugh at that, but I think it's the thing about the Saint-Saëns is, like, if you demand just enough out of the piece, it becomes very difficult. In terms of tempo and sound and so on, it can be much harder than the Brahms Second or any of those concertos, because in a way, those, like Brahms, conductors will say, "Oh, it's very straightforward." Well, in a way, because it's got a classical form kind of thing, and everybody kind of plays the same tempos. This concerto is so improvisatory. It's kind of like, it's up to God, I don't know, whoever, to demand whatever it is you want out of it. The overall feeling, besides that for 12, it's amazing, is that there's an overwhelming verticality about your playing that I believe you want to fix, okay? Everything is measured, da, 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 da. Your accompanist, by the way, was phenomenal. Yes, Anna, we know she's... No, I mean, she's doing exactly what I'm going to talk about. She moves the phrase this way. Everything, every quaver she moves is constantly horizontal and moving. So if she's playing a series of eighth notes, they're moving until the next quaver changes to a quarter or whatever, and then it starts another whole world of quavers, right? So let's say there are a bunch of quarter notes. Then she moves those. And you've got to know where to move. Your opening, for example. I mean, it's in everything you played, Caden. Every phrase was exactly the same in this respect. You play everything in dull strict time instead of moving it according to the harmony, which is what Anna did. And I'll have you know, Caden, that there are many artists, a million billion, that are mature, so-called polished, big careers that do the same thing you just did. So you're not alone, and it's not a crime, okay? But I think you're going to want to do something about it. Like the opening, first of all, I mean, it's like a big, huge organ prelude. Why so measured? Why isn't it just all over the place? Boom. And go to the downbeats. Don't go to the bathroom right before the downbeat. Okay? I mean, what is that? What is holding up the downbeat going to do for you? Absolutely nothing. That's what it's going to do. It's going to retard the piece. The piece will go backwards instead of horizontally forwards. You want to go backwards? Well, there's a movie called The Dark Backward or something. I know, it's a really weird movie with that guy, Judd. Yeah, go see that movie, and then that's what you're doing. Okay, so you want to move it according to the harmonies. Well, harmonies don't go backwards. They progress. So that's just the opening. And then you get to the finger work, and it's marvelous. Why? This is what I don't understand about pianists or whoever, violinists. Why do they move the obvious 30-second notes? You know, and there's no movement in any of the other stuff, in the ruminative passages, in the self-effacing passages, in the things that have you saying something about the piece. I mean, do you have anything to say? You don't really have much to say in except for the fact that it's brilliant. That's not saying anything. It's these ruminative passages people live for and are moved by. Okay? Now your theme, for example, and Anna tried to move it. She did a fabulous job of moving you into. That was marvelous how she prepared you for the first theme. Yeah, well, you know, you didn't play it that way. You played it very vertically. Again, you've got to move those quarter notes into those sixteenths. Then the sixteenths have to move into the next F sharp, blah, blah, blah. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, so you don't. It's not that you move everything. No. You've got to know where, like I've set up, you got to know harmonic tension, harmonic rhythm, harmonic impetus, when to leave a harmony, when to stay in a harmony. That's your biggest problem right there. You're staying in the harmony all the time. Okay? And then you're not as demanding of yourself in the difficult part about those double notes is the music. If you go ba da 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 dee da 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 da, anybody can do that. Okay, what you want to move is da da dee do, ba da dee do, and then string it together. It's got to sing. Like Bolette used to say, you know, I'd go in for a lesson, he'd go, sing it. And I'd go, I am. You know. Obviously, he wasn't listening. No, I'm just kidding. No, but, you know, because that's one thing I do, you know. You can accuse me of a lot of other things, but I always sing it. You've got to feel the harmonies. The melody's not going to give it to you. The rhythm, the note values are not going to give it to you, although the note values have a lot to do with what I'm talking about. I said in the last broadcast, play the fast notes faster, play the slow notes slower. It's that simple, but you got to know where. It's not that simple. In other words, you can't just apply that axiom of living to, you know, literally. It has to be interpreted. Technical approach, the approach to the instrument, all of these things have to be interpreted. You can't just go, I remember, I'll tell you a funny joke. So John Perry was given a lesson and he said all this crap, you know, and this guy, this country bumpkin at the end of it said, oh, okay, all I got to do is pull, I guess. Pull? He meant on the fingertip, you know, pull. Like, And Perry said a million things, and he said, well, I guess he had a country accent, you know, Texas. This was in Austin, I guess that's why. And, you know, he goes, well, I guess all I got to do is pull. Yeah, that's all I got to do. I mean, life isn't so simple, you know? It's like a road map. You have pit stops. You have this. You have got to go to the bathroom. You got to go gas up, you know. You can't just drive your truck to San Francisco. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
You're funny. I like that. No, listen. Just okay, I'm going to give you a simple formula and don't apply it, you know, literally, but Anna will guide you because she's just phenomenal at this. Move the quick notes quicker. Move the slow note. Stay in the slow notes longer. Okay, you have the opening of the concerto, the big G. First of all, play it with two hands. Why would you go boom? There's no sound there. I mean, you know, play it with two hands, okay? And break them. You know, just make an opening, you know, say something. Don't just go clunk, you know. Okay. From that moment on, you're done, okay? Unless you move me. I'm not moved. See, you have to move your audience. They don't care about octaves. And then, by the way, that brings up you do all those double notes, and then all of a sudden you're going why? Why? Because Saint-Saëns said go faster. Saint-Saëns doesn't know what he's talking about. Half these composers, you know, what their directives. Listen, don't laugh. Hey, listen. Yeah, we're laughing. I'm laughing too. These composers, the Mozart dot, the Brahms dot, what does that mean? You know, some idiot at Marlboro said, well, you know, Richie, the Brahms dot is different than the Mozart dot. And I go, really? I didn't notice. These composers do not give good directives, okay? Saint-Saëns was a phenomenal pianist by all reputation, yet he does some very stupid things in this movement, and I can prove it in the score. See, you can't treat composers like they shit marble, okay? Excuse the language. But that's the only way to explain what I'm saying, okay? They are human. That's what makes the piece so great. It's coming out of flesh and blood. It's not like, oh, you know, I just composed this concerto in 3 weeks. Did you know that? And that's what Saint-Saëns did. He did write it in 3 weeks, and he didn't even have anything in front of him at the premiere. I know all about these things. You know, I know all the little, where the bodies are buried. Oh, yeah. So listen, who cares? It's your piece. When you sit down and play it, make it your own.
Okay.
You got it, Caden?
Yeah.
Good boy. I believe you. Okay, I'm done. I'm not
Wonderful.
really done. I'm not really.
Oh yeah, I mean we could do this for months.
Yeah, this could go on.
We still wouldn't get it all. Yeah.
Ad libitum, you know.
Oh,
it's
of course. And I mean, we probably have 3 people in this room right now who's already played it, including myself.
I'm getting hot. I need to take off my coat. Jeez.
Go for it. Okay, let's bring in Diego here.
Yes, Diego.
Hey Dickran, hey everybody.
How's it going, man?
Good. All right, well, Caden, this was amazing. I like the intensity with which you play the different parts of the piece, and of course, I don't really understand everything that Dickran's been talking about, of course, because I'm not a pianist. But the piano has this. I mean, the piece has these parts where you really need that percussion feel, and piano, after all, has percussion. But so that was wonderful. I liked it. And again, the intensity with how he plays different parts, like the slow part, the big parts, that was amazing, and great technique for your age. Wow, I loved it. It sounded amazing. Thank you.
Wonderful, thank you, Giacomo.
Sorry, Caden. Congratulations. I think at 12 years old to have done what you have done is just great. Um, I would add to all the details that Dickran have been saying. I was focusing in particular in the expressive part. The fire with all those octaves, even if you don't have fire on you, they come physically, they come out. So uh, there is no much problem with that. I found that the legato in the expressive part was kind of uh, not moving, uh, a little flat. But you know, at 12 years old, what can you do? Already playing the keys there. I mean, it's great. You know, I mean,
We just got through talking about that.
we should all keep silent here. But the thing is you know, I think no, I think you know. So we had to say, you know, after a life of experience, that I always have this conception. I tell to every instrumentalist that within a piece, whatever piece you are playing, you can even play a little waltz by Chopin, or in a virtuoso piece like this, of course, there is more occasion. I think that beside the academics, what the academics say, you have to find always, and you have the talent to develop into a great artist. You have to find always the moment of magic. That's what I find. And usually, the moment of magic, myself, in my experience, especially as a pianist, is in moments of expression where you have that extra pianissimo, that extra rubato, that extra something. And then when you perform, you feel that not with guys like us, you feel that with the public. You can feel it. You can feel when that happens. The teachers cannot teach you that. Professional cannot teach you that. The public can teach you that from experience, where composer, you, and the public are all together. Then the public start not forgetting you. They will remember you.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Giacomo.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. yeah.
Caden, did you have anything you'd like to add or ask the judges? The floor can be yours for a minute if you'd like to ask a question.
No.
No?
Sorry.
Okay. No, it was really lovely to hear you. And I mean, speaking from someone, I'm not a judge here today, but I was speaking from someone who played this piece with orchestra myself. It seems like you have some of the best advice from your teacher and the judges here, like the best advice you could get with this. I mean, it was really, you're an extraordinarily gifted pianist. It was wonderful to hear you, and just onward and upward to the next level all the time. And you're headed in the right track with all of this. It was. Thank you for bringing this here to us today.
Thank you.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, wonderful. Okay, so Caden concludes our round of auditions here. Just quickly, I'd like to thank all of the judges here today. Diego, Giacomo, and Dickran for sharing all of their wisdom and expertise with us, and engaging in some really, really fun, insightful, and helpful conversation on just performing in the industry. And that's what we're all about, is just making improvements and going to that next level. And it's so great to have you all here live. Thank you all for being here.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Great to
As we are concluding, I just want to bring up a few things. You could check out our websites for all of our up and coming information. We have virtualconcerthalls.com. We have progressivemusicians.com. We have soundespressivocompetition.com. And we also have coldorchestra.com, where all of our events are happening here. every day we have a live daily show which features artists, educators, and new and unique topics of the field of music education there. Yep, and there's the timings. Some days we're at 2, some days we're at 12, and sometimes we have an extra special broadcast like we do today. And on Thursdays and Sundays, we are doing these short videos on different segments, lectures of the Beethoven symphonies, and we narrated by Larry Rapchak. And yes, the Magnificent 9 Beethoven symphonies. So we get a little snippet of the Beethoven symphony, and Larry lectures through that. And then we have our own hosts co-hosting. Anna Ospinskaya and Chris Al share their reflections and insights as well. And it's a really fun thing, produced by Architects of Music and New Media Productions. And so you should check that out. They're all saved on the world's DVR of YouTube and LinkedIn and Facebook. So, I mean, we're on all of those channels, and all the videos are uploaded there, and you could just go to them. There they are there. Yep. And we have multiple channels for each of those websites that we just showed: Progressive Musicians Virtual Concert Hall, Sound Espressivo, Cold Orchestra. They all have YouTubes and Facebooks. Some have LinkedIn's and Vimeo, and it's easy to find all of these videos and to tap into our streams. You know, we have a world of supporters here as well. And if we could bring the sponsors back on just for a minute there, look at that. I mean, it's just so overwhelming and so wonderful that we can have all this. Thank you, supporters. Just a quick reminder of what's to come. On March 28th at the State University of New York at Fredonia, we have our first seasonal cold orchestra concert, and that is featuring these 7 wonderful artists under the baton of Maestro Glenn Cortese with the Western New York Chamber Orchestra, and that'll be live here on our channels, streaming as well, and you can leave comments there as well. But it'd be great if you were in person if you're in the area, and you can find tickets at the university's website, fredonia.edu/tickets. And then a few days later, we have a visit with the Easter Bunny, and the very next day, April 1st, we are at Carnegie Hall with the Boston String Ensemble, the Leonard String Quartet, many new compositions from our auditioned laureates, and it's going to be a wonderful program. Then April 4th, we are back at Carnegie Hall again with the Bo Lightly's Cello Ensemble and the New York Chamber Players under the fabulous Maestro Franci, who is here with us on the judges panel today. And you'll hear many concerti played with the New York Chamber Players, as well as some guest conductors and featured performers and our auditioned laureates, and some new compositions for orchestra as well. It's going to be an array of musical greatness, and we hope to see you for some or all of that. And you can buy your tickets for the Carnegie programs on the Carnegie Hall website or in person at the box office. If you plan to buy them in person, get there early. That line goes all the way around 7th Avenue. You know, a whole city block it extends sometimes before the performance, and it's not fun to be in. So get there early, get your tickets, have a great time with us. You know, come see us after and get to know us, and yeah, just a great New York time. And I'm rambling, which means that I've probably said everything that I need to say here. But, you know, so we are at the end here. We will be back in an hour with more musical greatness auditions. So please join us for that. We have to give a shout out to our team here. And we have a wonderful team. And Ante and Jennifer, also both pianist extraordinaires, are on our technical team backstage helping us out, and thank you all. And it takes a village here, and they're flipping all the switches and showing these wonderful visuals here. So thank you for that. And with that, we're going to sign off. I'm James Welch here for Virtual Concert Halls and Progressive Musicians, saying thank you for tuning in, and see you in an hour. Good morning.